Right guys, welcome to the channel. This is another Warhammer 40,000 battle report. Today we are trying something new. Josh is back with the new Marine Codex. He's brought his Iron Serpents along and he's challenged me to a non-Maelstrom game. So we have rolled for Emperor's Will. So we've got one objective here and the other one over there. But Josh challenged me to no elves. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll take Blood Angels or Mechanicum, no problem. I've tried something new though, and you'll see when I take you through the armies. But this is today's table. It's the same planet that the Ultramarines faced the Tyranids on last week. Different part of it, there is an outpost and a couple of objectives. And the Ultramarines and the Iron Serpents want whatever information is in these objective markers, and they're fighting over it around this outpost today. There's a few tree barks left over, nestled in the base of a rocky ridge. So it is Dawn of War deployment, so it's 12 inches from each side. We haven't rolled for sides yet. We'll take you through the armies.
Right, so my army today, we're playing 2,500 points, consists of a demi company, a first company task force, and a librarius conclave. I'll do the conclave first. Got a librarian on Demonology Santic with Banishment, Hammerhand, Vortex of Doom. One on Biomancy with Smite, Life Leech, and Endurance. And then a guy with Prescience and Psychic Shriek. First company task force. Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators in a Land Raider, Crusader. Then Tactical Terminators, just as seen, Chain Fist, Assault Cannon, Power Sword because I can't take Lightning Claws anymore, sad face. Vanguard Veterans with a pair of Lightning Claws, accompanied by the Warlord from the Demi Company, my usual captain. Teeth of Terror, Artificer Armor, Plasma Pistol, Storm Shield, Jump Pack, Melter Bomb. Three 10-man tactical squads, each with a las gun and plasma cannon. Las cannon, plasma gun, that's better. Got 4 las cannons on a Devastator squad. Landspeeder squad with double bolters. Ironclad in a Dreadnought. Most of which you've all seen before apart from these 3. Should be an interesting change for me.
Right, so this is my force, and yes, I know it's my Blood Angels, but they are Ultramarines today. I'm trying out the Space Marine Codex, I want to try something a little bit different, and I found it very difficult to build a Space Marine list. I found I was missing a lot of things that I came to rely on as a Blood Angel player, and despite the Marines having a lot of buffs, like the Scouts and the Dreadnoughts and everything compared to Blood Angels, really come to find that I think I appreciate my Blood Angels a little bit more now, and Josh will finally give out a sigh of relief that I stopped whinging about them. So we have the first demi company up this side. We have a captain with the Teeth of Terror, Plasma Pistol, Storm Shield, Jump Pack.
Totally not mine.
3 tactical squads, Melter Gun in each. He also has Melter Bombs, by the way. Devastator squad there with 2 las cannons and 2 missile launchers. The missile launchers have flak, which is now pointless now I've seen his army list. We do have 4 bikers there. I only have those 4 bikers. That one will be the sergeant with the sword, but he does not have the sword. The melter gun and the plasma gun are 2 grav guns. They have also got an attack bike with a heavy bolter. One of the tactical squads has a free Rhino. The Devastators have the free Razorback. I've paid the points for the last cannon. The 2 other tactical squads have a free drop pod. Their Dreadnought is an Ironclad with extra armor, assault cannon and heavy flamer. He's also got the free drop pod. Second demi company is Terminator Chaplain. 3 tactical squads, 1 with a plasma gun, 2 with melter guns. This Devastator squad, we have 3 with plasma cannons and 1 with just a bolter. Their Dreadnought is an Ironclad, which is a mishmash of my Furioso and Librarian, just to try and make him look like he's supposed to be an Ironclad. twin heavy flamers and seismic hammer, obviously represented by the force halberd. Fast choice is 2 land speeders. They're the only 2 land speeders I own. I don't have enough heavy bolters for them, but they are kitted out with twin heavy bolters. The Dreadnought and the 3 tac squads have 3 drop pods as well. We've then got a first company task force, which looks very familiar, Josh. Squad of Hammonators in a Land Raider, which is the one with the bolters. Crusader, despite it being the Redeemer, they are magnetised, but I haven't magnetised the bolters for it yet. We've then got a tactical squad, a tactical Terminator squad. The Flamer is going to be an assault cannon, and we have Vanguard. And in the Vanguard box, you only get 4 sets of lightning claws, so he does have lightning claws. Yeah, the Vanguard squad have lightning claws. I haven't rolled for. I have rolled for my Warlord trait, and I got It Will Not Die and Fearless, and that is on the captain. So apologies for the unpainted minis on my part. I normally like to try and field painted minis, but obviously putting together a different list was a bit of a challenge. There's the 7 drop pods, 3 of which are painted. The 2 black ones do have locator beacons. The black ones are going to be used to represent the 2 for the Dreadnoughts. So that is my force, 2,500 points. Let's get it on. Right, so I won the roll-off and I elect to deploy and go first unless Josh seizes. So down this side, we've got the Razorback, the Land Speeders and the Bikers. And I forgot to put my biker back. I was just gluing him back on the base as he broke. The attack bike is attached to the Bikers there as well. We've got the Vanguard with the captain. 1 Devastator squad with the last cannons and the missile launchers up here. We've got the other Razorback just under the rocks there, looking to get some line of sight, well, through there. We've got the empty Rhino here and the Terminator tactical squad there. The tactical squad with the heavy bolter just hugging the objective. The Land Raider on this side, plenty of manoeuvrability space. And over here we've got the plasma cannon Devastators. Josh's counter deployment. He's got, looks like a 10-man tactical squad wrapped around there. 10-man around there. He's got the Devastators on the top of the tree. And he's got 5 of the tactical marines here with the land speeders. The Vanguard hugging the Land Raider, and the Land Raider's got the Librarius Conclave, and which Terminators are in there? The Assault Terminators in there. There's these other 5 tactical marines, so I guess that means your tactical Terminators are deep striking.
Yes, they are.
And the pod is in reserve. Josh's Warlord trait, which we've got to mention, Storm of Fire.
Yep.
So once per game.
Once per turn per game.
Okay. He gets rending on all of his shooting attacks. So, Josh, do you want to roll to see if you sees?
Yep, will do. I do not.
That's a 3, so we'll come back after Ultramarines.
That happen to be red today.
Yep, turn 1. Right, so movement phase. This pod came in and scattered 2 inches back and had to stop on the trees. The Venerable's jumped out and he's facing this way. I know I'm going to lose him, but I want to get rid of some of them. This pod got a direct hit, so tactical squads jumped out with a melter gun there. That one scattered 11 inches onto that back marine, so obviously minimum distance puts him there. I tried to get him in over here to try and get a shot in on the Land Raider. So I think I'm going to go for the speeders there. Down here, the land speeders have jumped over the bikes. I'm keeping the bikes just a little bit back for the moment. See if we can lure the Terminators out, but we'll see. The Vanguard I've left exactly where they are. The Razorback I've left where it is, as well as the Devastators. The Rhino's moved 6 inches, just giving the Terminators some cover there. These guys have stayed where they are, they've stayed where they are, and the Land Raiders come forward, looking to hopefully take out the last cannon guy through there. So I have elected to pop, oh actually there's the other drop pod. That's the other one with the locator beacon. I have elected to pop the tactical doctrines. So the tactical marines get to reroll all hits and everybody else gets to reroll ones to hit. So we'll come back after the shooting phase and see what damage we can do. Right, so in the shooting phase, each of the sergeants chucked a crack grenade, each of the melter guns fired, and the marines rapid fired, and we managed to strip 4 hull points altogether. I didn't get any explodes results, unfortunately, despite the pens getting through. Josh elected not to jink on the land speeders, so this one land speeder is left. The storm bolters killed one of the marines here, so he didn't need a morale check. Over here, the land speeders, all the bolters from these guys, and the Razorback shot down at the Devastator squad and caused 2 casualties. They passed the morale check. This Dreadnought shot the heavy flamer and killed 1, and the assault cannon killed another. Over here, this Land Raider fired through the gap there, fired full ballistic skill with the assault cannon, got a rend on the marine through there. Obviously not enough to force a morale check, but at least I got rid of the last cannon. Down here, despite getting 17 hits on the 2 squads with the 2 heavy flamers, only 2 marines died. The storm bolter from this also fired as well. We've still got these Devastators to shoot, and these ones if they can see anything. So let's see if we can take something out before we call it a turn. Right, so down here the plasma cannon's shot. I rolled a get hot but passed my armor save. I did get a direct hit with one of them, caused 2 wounds, but we did agree that if you're in base to base with any of the rocks or barks, it is classed as being in ruins. So those guys passed the 4 cover. Meanwhile down here, I shot the last cannons down at the front armor of the Land Raider, and I managed to get a glance on it, so it's down to 3. So that is the end of my turn. We'll now move on to Iron Hands, turn 1. Alright, so Josh's movement phase, the Ironclad has landed right behind the Dreadnoughts over here. Over this way, the Tactical Marines have reshuffled just to probably spread out, try and avoid the Dreadnought, I think. Over here, the Terminators and the Vanguard have all pulled forward, probably looking to charge over here. Tactical Marines have pulled this way, as well as the Land Speeder, looking to take these guys out. So let's move on to Josh's horrible psychic phase with some 2-up harnessing powers. Right, so this is the psychic phase, and I'm going to film it to see how broken it is. Josh gets 6 base and he rolled a 1, so he gets 7 dice. He's elected this guy to cast first, and I get a whole 1 dice to harness on his 2+ harnesses. He's worked out what he's going to do, but he hasn't told us yet, so how are we then?
First things first. Vortex of Doom. 4 dice. That is...
He doubled!
That is 4 dice harness, no deny. I did double as per...
Sandic.
Sandic, yep, that's the one I'm looking for.
No, obviously the 2+ harnesses, because he's got the extra 2 librarians there. So for each librarian he gets +1, so obviously if there was 2 he'd harness on a 3. Because there's 3 of me harnesses on 2. I'm obviously not going to try and stop that.
That's a 4 on the perils table.
I think...
I don't know 4 off the top of my head.
I think it's auto take a wound.
Very well might be. I'm hoping it's not warp purge, because that kind of undoes everything.
Should be in the appendix at the back.
Yes, it is. Should be. Perils of the warp. 4 psychic backlash, auto wound. That's no problems. Not really.
Cool. So he does take a wound. He's down to 2 wounds.
Down to 1 wound. They only have 2 each.
That's it. Yep.
But the fun bit.
Don't hit the bikes. Don't hit the bikes.
Yeah, you can hope that all you want, but it's the one that just stays there and scatters about of its own accord.
Yes.
And, oh look, very nice window full of scatter targets. 12 inches will get it roughly there. I will measure that. 12 inches is exactly there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll put it on that dude there. That is
8 inches off.
That way.
That's
Correct
okay
by
for me.
4. There.
Land speeder.
1 land speeder. Destroyer weapon hit.
Nothing!
That's fine. That just will balance there. No, it won't.
Yeah, we know where it is.
Yeah.
Right, so you've got 3 other dice.
I have got 3 other dice, indeed. The next one I'm going to cast is this one. 2 dice for endurance on their own unit. Off on a 2. And then, just because, Psychic Shriek targeting the bikes. Harness on a 5. You can deny this one.
What's that? Ah. So Psychic Shriek on the bikes.
Yep.
Leadership 8. Oh yeah, you need a hit. Hits.
3 dice minus 8.
Please roll low, please roll low. 5.
There's 8.
9. So that's 1 dead, and that will be that guy there.
Who was fortunate enough to avoid a bloody rift in the wall.
Indeed. So that's the end of Psychic phase. Let's move on to shooting. Right, shooting phase. This Storm Bolter on the drop pod took out the Heavy Bolter Marine. The Ironclad here shot through at Squishy the Rhino, and yes, he is called Squishy. Squishy! Yeah, Melter Gun got a forward cover save which he passed. The Heavy Flamer didn't do anything. In the process, the Heavy Flamer also wounded 4 of the Terminators, and they all passed their armor saves. Round this way. You haven't shot the Land Raider.
No, I haven't.
I'll
do that afterwards.
We'll work that out after. There's so much to remember in a 2,500 point game. Down here, the captain shot his plasma pistol at the backside of the Venerable and got hot, but passed his armor save. Crack Grenade, however, did get a pen, and I asked Josh to re-roll it, as he did roll an immobilized result, and he rolled a 1 or a 2, which means he's shaken. Rolled for extra armor, and unfortunately didn't get through. He used his Warlord trait to declare Rendon on the Land Speeder. The Land Speeder shot down at these Marines and didn't cause any Rends, and I passed my armor saves. The Tactical Marines shot at the other ones and didn't do any damage either, unfortunately. The last cannons here got a glance on that Razorback there. Over this way, what's that? Is it a plasma gun there?
That's the last cannon.
Right, so a last cannon from there, which is that one.
Yep.
Didn't get anything on the front armor. The plasma gun and a crack grenade. I think one of them went through on the side armor. And then from over here, all these bolters, and there's a plasma gun there.
Yeah, there is, that one.
And the bolters from them 5 guys, well 4, shot through, and the Ironclad is left on 1 hull point. He did get a pen through, and he is also shaken as well, so he can't fire the Heavy Flamers. So we've only got the Land Raider to shoot. We'll work that out and then move on to assaults. Right, so the last bit of the shooting was the assault cannon and the multi-metal over here. The assault cannon, Josh elected to shoot at the bikes. I elected not the Jink because of the cover through the land speeders. Despite him getting 4 wounds, I passed all my saves. Shot the multi-melt with Power of the Machine Spirit at the Razorback and failed to hit. He elected to multi-charge that guy at the land speeders and the Librarian at the Razorback, needing an 8-inch charge shoot going over the lug there, and Josh rolled a 6 unfortunately, so they didn't make it in. And while over here, yes, I know the Dreadnought's still facing the wrong way, but Captain elected to go initiative 5, needing 6s to glance the front armour of the Venerable 12. Josh got 2 hits and didn't get any glances. The Dreadnought then smashed back with his Power Fist, killed 2 of the Vanguard that were in base contact. Josh failed his lookout sir with the Captain, but then passed his 3 up invuln because of the Storm Shield. The Raptor model, the Vanguard, hit back at the same time with crack grenades and didn't even hit, unfortunately. So that is the end of the Iron Serpents, not Iron Hands, turn 1. Let's move on to Blood Angels that are actually Ultramarines, turn 2. So yeah, the vortex kind of scattered there, and it was a strength of D3 wounds, pending me in run. There's me in run. How many wounds does it do, Josh? Boom! Slay the Warlord.
And first blood.
Oh crap. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, I have 2 melter pods, neither of which is in, and a plasma pod, which is in. Yay. Alright, so movement phase. Land Raiders pulled forward, those guys have jumped out. They're pretty useless over this side of the board, so I figured why not, might as well try and just work my way through them Marines over there. The plasma pod landed here, it didn't scatter due to being within 6 inches of this one. Hopefully I can take out a tactical squad there, and the Dreadnought there, I'm going to charge them at them, see whether or not we can get rid of them. Over this side, the Speeders have pulled round to the side, and the Razorback. The Vanguard are now useless due to losing the Warlords, so I figured why not just charge them at them, try and cut down as many wounds as I can. The Bikes have pulled right back here, but they are within 18 inches, so Josh is still going to have a long way to go to get them. I figure I can probably outrun him and keep shooting them with the Grav. Over this side, all the Marines have shuffled up. Maybe get rid of the Speeder or the tactical squad there, seeing what happens. And we've got that combat there as well. So I'm going to go on to shooting phase. Right, so shooting phase down here. All 3 plasma cannons shot down. I got a single glance on the Dreadnought, but because it was coming through the rock, so part of the armour is obscured by the rock and the drop pod. Josh passed his cover save. The last cannon from this, however, shot him up the arse, and he's stunned, so he can't even move this turn. The 3 Terminators that were closest here, the heavy bolters from here, the heavy bolter and all the Grav from here poured down into these, and they lost 2. The Librarian at the front died to the Grav, the Terminator at the side here died to the bolter fire coming in from there. I also shot all the Devastators down at them as well, tanked everything. Back here, this guy stands alone now. He lost 1 from the heavy bolter from this, and the sergeant died to the storm bolter on this one. They do need a leadership check. Oh, he runs. 3, so it would be 3 down and then 1.
So it would be 8 there.
They also need it.
Losing 2 out of 8. They do actually. That's a 6 and a
5. Oh, they run.
Falling back.
I didn't want that. I actually wanted to charge them.
8 inches. That'll put them like down here.
Yep. So Josh will move them, and we'll come back after he's done that. I'll talk you through the rest of the shooting. 5 Marines at this side shot at the Speeder. Josh elected to jink. I did get a single glance. The Melter unfortunately missed, despite me popping tactical doctrines again. The 5 Marines on this side shot the bull pistols at these guys as well. So I'm looking to charge the Speeder and charge the Marines and hopefully get rid of them. Over this side, these Marines here managed to kill 3 of the Marines that were stood there, and the Storm Bolters rained down a couple of shots as well. Over here, oh yeah, he needs a leadership test as well.
Which is a 5.
5 and
a...
Oh no!
True to form, that's consistent at least.
So how far is he running?
1. Nah,
he's off the board. These guys lost 1 from the Hurricane Bolter Flamestorm Cannon. Yep. Basically it's a Hurricane Bolter. The Assault Cannon managed to kill the 1 guy that was stood there. So they actually need a leadership test as well.
I want to use different dice. I've rolled a 5 and a 6 like twice now. It's 4.
Yeah, they're cool. So,
That's
assaults. Don't think they can charge now.
They probably... No, you need to draw a line of sight to charge, can't you?
Yep, and I can't.
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
That sucks, because I was hoping to get off a number of attacks with them, but never mind. So, charges, I'm going to do this one into them, and the Terminators over the side are going to sweep into these guys as well. Yeah, I think that's it. So we'll come back after the assault. Right, so down here the chaplain killed one of the Marines. The Marine struck back and unfortunately only caused one wound, and I passed my armor save. The Terminators then smushed the Marines into the ground. Got a 5-inch consolidation, so they're looking at these guys next turn. Over here, the Dreadnought made mincemeat out of the remaining tactical Marines there, and he's consolidated back this way, looking to hopefully take this side. Over here, the Dreadnought smushed the captain. Josh elected to go initiative 5 with his strength 6 sword, hoping to get some glances on it, but unfortunately he didn't. And I got 2 wounds back, and Josh failed his 3-up invuln due to the storm shield. These tactical Marines here got a single glance. I elected to use all my attacks, 11 attacks on the charge. By God, I don't half miss Furious Charge there against armor 10. It really makes a difference. Down here, them tactical Marines killed 2. Josh passed his leadership test, rolling a 4. Just a quick note as well, when Josh shot at the Ironclad last turn, we were under the impression I'm used to Furiosos being armor 13, 12, 10, so he actually took a glance last turn. Obviously being armor 13, when we look back at it, he wouldn't have taken it, so he is actually still on 2 hull points. So that is it for the assault phase. Now back to Iron Serpents, turn 2. Right, so movement phase for Iron Serpents. Terminator's deep struck here with precision due to the locator beacon on that. The Vortex scattered this side, didn't quite get far enough onto the bikes. Movement. These guys have regripped their 3 inches, and this is pulled around to the side slightly. One of the Librarians has detached. We did do the entire Psychic phase. He cast Life Leech at the side armour of the Dreadnought, but didn't glance it, unfortunately. He also cast Endurance on that single guy there. I think Josh wants to make sure that I don't control our objective. He then cast Hammer Hand on himself because he thinks he's probably going to charge in the Dreadnought maybe, or get charged. And this Vortex, he casted here hoping to erase a tactical squad and the drop pod, but it's scattered this way, and as you can see it does cover the drop pod. It got 1 penetrating hit through, AP2 rolled and immobilized, so yeah, that's down on 1 hull point. I need that to go, and I need my other drop pods in this area next turn. Rest of the movement, is that it?
Yeah, they moved down to there. I mean, they're dead anyway, so just stand and shoot. These guys just repositioned to get some shots at these because, likewise, they're dead anyway.
So, we'll move on to shooting phase. Right, so these Terminators here caused 2 casualties on the tactical Marines, and they failed their leadership and ran off the board like pussies. They are no blood angels of mine.
Marines.
Yep. Over here, those guys, the Plasma Gunner and the rest of the Marines, took 2 of those guys down. They passed the morale check. Those 3 guys didn't inflict any wounds on the Terminators here. Shooting phase over here. The Land Raider that pivoted shot the Assault Cannon and the Hurricane Bolters straight through here and caused a single glance on that Speeder. Back here, the snap shooting Speeder, the last cannon that rallied, both shot down at the Dreadnought. In the end it was the non-existent multi-melter that shot and destroyed the Dreadnought. It didn't blow up though. So that was it for shooting. Now move on to Josh's assault, if he has any. Right, so assault phase. The Librarian charged at the Tactical Marines needing an 8. He failed. I got a single wound on Overwatch with a bolt gun, but Josh passed his save. These guys needed a 6-inch charge at the Vanguard. and they only rolled a 4, 6 inches due to the logs being in the way. So that's the end of that. Now, moving into my turn, I have 2 tactical melter pods coming in. I've got 1 coming in, so we'll work that out and do the rest of the movement. Right, so I suddenly realised in the absence of moving my Terminators, left Josh wide open to get down here. So the Terminators are going to go up here, smush them 3 Marines, and I'm going to rattle some shots through there, see if I can take those guys out. The Ironclad and the Marines are going to push this way, hopefully back them up maybe in the turn after next. Over this way, the Vanguards, looking to hopefully get these in combat. I know I'm probably going to die, but try and quell some of their number. I dropped that drop pod here, and the Marines got out there, looking to hopefully insta-kill him if I can get a melter in on him. And the Marines there looking to get the Razorback. These guys are still in combat with him. Meanwhile, back here, I've moved the bike slightly just to get the grav in on them. And I pulled this Stormbolt there, the Razorback, sorry, back. Hopefully get the thanks, Josh.
Sorry.
Hopefully get some shots in with the heavy bolter down on them. Combined with the bolter shots from these, both of them passed the dangerous terrain tests, and the last cannons and the missile launchers from these will hopefully take them, combined with the plasma cannons from these. So the Terminators, we've got a long way to go around. I might end up charging at the Dreadnought, see what happens. But yeah, I need rid of these. So the objective secured. Rhino is coming back this way, hopefully swing round and keep hold of that objective for us until I can get some reinforcements in. I was thinking about dropping a drop pod there, but I elected against it. I'm going to save my last one for there if I can't clear them up. So we'll move on to shooting phase. Right, so shooting phase, I popped the 3rd tactical doctrine. I think we've done it correct. You get 1 for Ultramarines, 1 for being in the Demi Company, but then 1 for being in the Gladius Strike Force as well. So that is the 3 tactical doctrines gone. These guys here, Josh lost 4 of them to the plasma cannons. I got 11 hits altogether. The back one I couldn't see to kill though. So the heavy bolter from that and them rained down, as well as all the storm bolters and the assault cannon from the Terminator squad, trying to kill the last guy. He was stood there, but he passed all of his armor saves and everything. He did fail his morale and he's ran back 3 inches to there, so the Terminators are going to look to charge. Over here, the Land Raider moved 6 inches, so he fired the assault cannon at full ballistic skill, power the machine spirit one of the Hurricane bolters, so he took out the Marines on that flank. Over this way, basically everything else that was left, the Devastators shot down at these, the Grav shot down at them, the heavy bolter attack bike shot down, and the 2 storm bolters at the back here also shot down. I think Josh lost 1. Yep, 1, so he doesn't need to take a morale check. Over here, these guys tried to get some shots in on the librarian there. One of the bolt guns went through, but Josh passed his 6-up feel no pain. These guys took out the land speeder. It was glanced in combat last turn, and the melter went through. That Stormbolter from that drop pod tried to take the last cannon out, but didn't, unfortunately, and the other pods weren't within range. These guys over here have ran, trying to get them over to this side to get this objective as soon as we can. The Vortexes, actually, I forgot to mention that in the movement phase. They moved this way, just missing these guys, and before I moved the Razorback, it fell back this way. So that is it for the shooting phase. I've got some assaults I want to make. That one needs resolving. The Terminators are going to charge against Terminator over there, and right at the back, those guys are going to charge and possibly eviscerate those Marines there. So we'll see what happens with that. Actually, Right, so the assault phase down here are multi-charged. 2 Terminators went against the drop pod and caused 2 hull points, so it is on 1. Meanwhile, the Sergeant and the other 2 pounded on the other Terminator that was left, and unfortunately it didn't pass his, 6 invuns. Josh actually passed 3 of them though, so good roll in there. Combat over there, yeah, they smashed the Marines over there to a few itty bitty pieces. Over here, these guys, despite getting 2 or 3 wounds in, Josh did fail an armor save, but he has endurance, so he has a 4 feel no pain, which he passed on the roll of, was it a 4 that you rolled?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was great. Over here, my Vanguard charged in. I expected not to survive at all, hoping to cut down 1 or 2 of them. Tore one of them down before they swung back with the Thunderhammers. The Librarian didn't cause any wounds, and only 2 Thunderhammers swung back, causing 2 casualties. I failed my leadership test and ran back 11 inches. So, that is the end of the assault phase. We'll now move on to Iron Hands, turn 3. Right, so Josh's Land Raiders pulled forward slightly, probably get some shots down on the Vanguard. The remaining Terminators and the Librarian have pulled round this way. Librarian's moved this side, and the last cannon guy's staying exactly where he is. So, Psychic phase, he's lost a wound because he perilled trying to cast Vortex. Just to note as well, that Vortex scattered back this way and got nothing. The one that was back here scattered off the edge of the table, but yeah, no, that Vortex doesn't like that tree. As a result of the peril, he lost a wound and 3 warp charge. Josh did roll a 6 though, so he did have 10 warp charge to begin with. And he put, what did you put, 5 into Vortex?
5 into Vortex.
And failed with a peril, and lost 3.
Lost 3.
And then put the last 2
into Endurance.
Which he failed.
Only Marine. And failed.
Despite only needing 2 3-ups because of the 2 Librarians. So that's it for Psychic phase. Let's move on to the Shooting phase. Right, so Shooting phase, the drop pod shot at the Terminators and didn't cause any wounds. The Land Raider shot one of the Hurricane Bolters and the Assault Cannon down at the Vanguard and took them out. And it used Power of the Machine Spirit to get a penetrating hit on this drop pod. Rolled an immobilized result, so he's down to 1 hull point as well. The last cannon here shot at that drop pod and failed to pen. In the assault phase, this Librarian charged in and cut down one of the Marines. They passed the morale check. Meanwhile, these 3 charged in and tore down the 5 guys that were remaining there. I, however, managed to finally kill the lonely Marine that he's been in combat with for about 2 phases now, and consolidated onto the objective. So, we'll now move on to Ultramarines, turn 4. Right, so Space Marine turn 4. The Razorback has pulled forward 12 inches to get a line in on the Land Raider. The Land Raider is on 4 hull points. As Josh did roll, it will not die.
Yeah, that's what happened.
The bikes here are going to stay where they are. They're not going to be able to get line of sight in on the Terminators, so I'm going to try and hopefully take this out. See if we can roll some 6s.
Necron.
Yeah, and ignore the stupid kids outside. Yeah.
I just shut the window.
2 land speeders here are going to fire all of the bolters through and hopefully take these guys out. This drop pod landed flat bang on the objective, turn 4, auto in, 6 inches of the one with the locator beacon, so they've jumped out. Need to try and take these guys out as soon as we can. The Dreadnought there and the Marines are pushed forward. Everything over the other side of the table I haven't really touched. So we'll move into shooting. I think I will use possibly the Devastator Doctrine so I can re-roll at least 1s to hit with everything else. Right, so in the shooting phase, unfortunately down here the Devastators and the Razorback didn't cause any hull points on the Land Raider. The Terminators managed to kill the drop pod with the Assault Cannon. Over here, all of the drop pods rained down into these guys. Not a single armor save was failed. Tactical Marines back there. and these ones here shot at the Devastator Marine, and yeah, he went down. Assault phase, the 4 Marines there and the Librarian exchanged blows and nothing was done. So that's the end of the turn. Yeah, we'll now move on to Josh's turn. Right, so we've done Josh's entire turn. We'll try and remember it. Both the Hurricane Bolters rained down here and killed 2 of the Marines. What else happened?
He cast Vortex, which went over here, killed 3 Marines.
And the 2 of them ran.
Missed the drop pod. The other 2 ran over there. He tried to cast Smite, failed dismally.
This one.
Yeah, this one was cast in this turn. He then cast Hammerhand, perils, went Super Saiyan, smashed the drop pod out of a hull point, didn't blow it up unfortunately. The other one in combat chopped down another tactical marine and the other 3 ran away. These 2 in the assault phase wrecked the other drop pod, and that's it.
Yep, so we'll now move on to Ultramarines, turn 5. Right, so I have done the entire turn. The Devastators here, the Land Speeders and the Razorback all shot at the Terminators here and took them out. Over here, I shot all the drop pods and these Marines and killed the Psyker that had
The Demon Powers.
The Demon Powers, yeah. The one that went Super Saiyan last turn. These guys all shot down at these with the melters and bolt pistols. Didn't cause any wounds, unfortunately. Charged in, and no wounds exchanged either way. So we're now moving into the Iron Serpent's turn 5. Josh has that Librarian and the Land Raider. I think I should have kept moving everything up the table, but yeah, I neglected to do that. So we'll see if we can bring this Librarian down. Right, Josh's entire turn. Shot the multi-melter at this one and missed. Autocannon, assault cannon at that. Got a pen, so it lost 1 hull point. In combat, he cut 1 Marine down, the failed morale check and ran this way. So, adding points up, Josh got First Blood and Slay the Warlord for 2. He doesn't have Linebreaker and unfortunately doesn't hold this objective at the moment. I have Linebreaker and Slay the Warlord, and I hold both objectives. So that does mean that the Space Marines win. It's definitely a very different force to the Blood Angels. It's very, very shooty, which I'm not used to doing with Space Marines. But yeah, I like the Eternal War mission as well. Thank you for challenging me with that, Josh. It's very different. You basically set out with one goal rather than constantly having to change your tactics each turn that you draw cards, and it's very fast paced as well compared to Maelstrom games as well, so I think we'll try some more of them. But that's it for this battle report. Thanks very much for watching, and please check out the rest of the channel.